Morning friends, happy Friday. How the heck you doing? Better than Richard Eden, I think. Richard Eden must live on Mars. Maybe Elon's rockets can actually get to Mars and instead of populating it, bring him back. Who knows? Get to the point, Martin. Savvy William and Kate have stealthily parked their tanks firmly on the lawn of Harry and Meghan, the California lush lawn in the sunshine. And it shows who's really won the popularity war. Blah, blah, blah. William and Kate have apparently, if you didn't know, and it's behind the paywall, they've launched this new charity initiative where other billionaires pay into charity. No money from William and Kate themselves, of course, because they are famously brilliant at take, and give absolutely zero back. They never give any money to anything. Okay, they might have chucked a few grand here and there to buy some books and sponsored someone's charity walk, but it's literally the same as an NHS nurse giving £1.50. The equivalent from their salary. William and Kate in the UK, if you're not a UK resident, are so dull. People like royal journalists struggle to say anything good about them or anything nice about them because they never do anything. They turn up for the minimum amount of time, do the minimum amount of work, and then expect everybody else to make it into some sort of PR masterpiece. You can't make a silk's purse out of a sow's ear. And we're getting to that predictable time of year again, the British summer, where the non-working parasitic taxpayer-funded royal family go off on another holiday, so their PR firms are told, you must turn on Harry and Meghan. If you want to sell media content and get clicks to stay alive, we won't be around. Make sure you make Harry and Meghan's life look absolutely miserable. And this is what they're doing. It's so predictable. The playbook is so old you can blow dust off the top. I want to go home. The secret plan to reverse Brexit. Harry's standing up to Meghan. And in other publications, it's all about how the PR teams in Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace are expecting Harry and Meghan to divorce, so they're getting a plan around that. No, that's all code. We know it's Kate and William. But the fact is, these titles are misleading. They're there to generate clicks and sell magazines, and they work. Because most of the royalist sheep actually believe all this stuff. We know different.
So apparently there has been crisis talks because we, Lena, Katie, feel betrayed and possibly even humiliated. Let's read it together. Betrayed and possibly even humiliated, the royal experts said about the reaction of Prince William and Kate Middleton. It is also clear that Kate Middleton and Prince William will not forgive Harry for spare. Kate Middleton and Prince William reportedly held crisis talks after they felt humiliated following the secret meeting of Meghan Markle and Harry with King Charles. This has been claimed by royal expert Emily Andrews in her piece for Women and Home. So, really, I have lost my patience with you. Now look, you and your wife are feeling humiliated. There is no need for all of this. All you have to do, really, like I've been telling you, is say sorry to your baby brother and fix this. You're the future of this thing. It is on you. I don't care what anybody says. You're the older brother. And I've told you that 100 times because I'm your African auntie. And now you, princess, the last couple of weeks, well, even going back months, we were told you want to make up with your sister-in-law because you want peace and whatever journey you're going on. Then a few weeks ago, it was you're the one who wants to broker the peace treaty between the brothers. Then, what was the other one? Willie is driving you mad or he's tearing you apart or whatever. And now it's saying that you and Willie will not forgive Harry. Now, my advice to you two is you guys are losing at this game. You are losing. No matter what your polls keep telling you, let me tell you the truth. And that's what I'll always do. You are losing because other people are just winning wherever they go, and you guys are having crisis talks, meaning you're not winning, you're losing. So if you want to win, I've always told you, African auntie, you need to fix this. You need to fix this. You want to be king, right? King of a Christian country. The first thing about Christianity is forgiveness. So why aren't you, as the future of this thing, a Christian king, not doing the right thing and forgiving? But every time we're told, you will not forgive, you are angry, you're this, you're that. Those are not qualities of a king. Those are not the qualities of a king. We need you to fix this. And anyway, forgive him for what? Forgive him for what? If anything, he needs to forgive you. You want him to forgive. You want him. You won't forgive him because he told the truth. Because he told us what you lot are all about. Nah, don't think like we're fools, because we're not. You need to do the right thing here. If you are going to be king of this land, you need to lead by example. This is why you people are in crisis talks now. Because it's not working. You think it is, but it isn't. Because you guys are doing crisis talks. Whereas the other people, they're winning. So I've always been advising you that the only thing this thing works for you to is humbling yourselves and making peace with your baby brother. I know your baby brother is capable, but here you're telling us you will never forgive. I mean, if I hear that anymore, William, I think that it's so bad to be a big brother and a future king, to have such a stance, such a position. We don't respect that. We only respect kingly people who do kingly things. Anyway, carry on with your crisis talks. When you're ready to fix this, call me and I'll help you, because you need all the help you can get, because you're doing it all wrong. And both of you, I put this on you, princess, to talk to this man. Talk to him. This is unacceptable what he's doing, because we all want peace now. Okay?
Can I ask you all something, squaddies? Since when did newspaper headlines become the official scoreboard for life? Seriously, some people act like if a newspaper says you're winning, you're winning. If the newspaper says you're losing, well, pack it up, game over. Come on now, let's bring this down to earth. If you quit a job that was making you miserable, moved to another city, started your own business, bought your own house, took care of your family, and woke up every morning without somebody breathing down your neck, would you really care if your old office voted you least popular employee of the month? Exactly. You'd probably frame your first paycheck from your new business before you'd frame that certificate. That's why these so-called popularity battles always make me laugh. People keep trying to turn Harry and Meghan's lives into some kind of football match. Who's ahead this week? Who's losing this month? What are we doing? This isn't a Premier League. Life isn't won because somebody wrote a flattering headline on Tuesday morning. The real question is much simpler. Who's actually living the life they wanted? Because from where I'm sitting, Harry and Meghan don't seem to spend every morning waiting for palace approval before making breakfast. They're raising their children, they're building businesses, they're signing deals, they're launching projects, they're supporting causes they care about, they're making decisions for themselves. That's called freedom. And let me tell you something, freedom is expensive, not just financially, emotionally, mentally. Sometimes you've got to walk away from something comfortable to build something that's actually yours. Regular people understand that better than anybody. How many people watching this left a toxic workplace? How many moved away from family to chase better opportunities? How many started businesses while everyone around them said, "You'll never make it"? Exactly. Nobody was handing you trophies every 5 minutes. You just kept going. That's real life. That's why I don't buy this idea that success is measured by who gets the nicest newspaper headline. Newspapers don't pay your bills. Newspapers don't tuck your kids into bed. Newspapers don't decide whether you're happy when the cameras disappear. Only you can answer that. And here's the funny part. The same people insisting Harry and Meghan somehow lost can't seem to stop talking about them. Years later, still writing, still commenting, still making videos, still debating every move. If someone was truly finished, why are they still taking up so much space in everybody's head? That's the part nobody wants to explain. It's like breaking up with your ex, then checking their Instagram every single day. Who moved on? Because it doesn't look like the people doing all the watching. At the end of the day, success isn't about winning a newspaper popularity contest. Success is waking up and knowing your life belongs to you. Nobody else's script, nobody else's timetable, nobody else's permission. And honestly, for a lot of ordinary people, that's a victory no headline can ever take away. You know what's become predictable? Every few months, somebody dusts off the exact same story. Harry looks miserable. Harry regrets everything. Harry wants out. Harry misses royal life. Really? Again? At this point, these headlines have more sequels than Fast and Furious. You'd think after the 10th version they'd try a new script. But nope, same movie, different thumbnail. Now here's my problem. If Harry is supposedly so unhappy, why does he keep showing up with Meghan? Why does he keep working with her? Why does he keep backing her? Why does he keep talking about protecting his wife and children whenever he gets the chance? Somebody make it make sense. See, regular people don't judge relationships the way gossip columns do. We watch what people actually do, because actions don't need anonymous sources. Imagine your neighbor keeps telling you, John and his wife are on the verge of breaking up. Then every weekend you see John and his wife grocery shopping together, taking the kids out, laughing, traveling, building their business. You'd eventually look at your neighbor and say, are you sure we're talking about the same couple? That's exactly what's happening here. The headlines keep trying to sell one story, reality keeps showing another. And reality is stubborn. It refuses to cooperate with clickbait. Here's what cracks me up. Every time Harry stands beside Meghan, suddenly somebody invents another explanation. He looked tired. He looked distant. He blinked too slowly. He smiled too much. Good grief. The man can't scratch his nose without somebody turning it into a relationship crisis. Meanwhile, Harry keeps doing what he's been doing for years, supporting his wife, looking after his kids, building projects, living his life. No dramatic announcement, no public meltdown, just living. And that's probably the most frustrating thing for the people who keep predicting disaster. Because every time they announce the relationship is about to collapse, Harry and Meghan pop up somewhere together like, morning everybody. You almost have to admire the commitment, not Harry and Meghan, the people who keep making the same prediction over and over again. If I was wrong that many times, I'd quietly retire from making predictions altogether. But not these folks. They're like football commentators who predict the same team will lose every match, even after watching them keep scoring. At some point, you've got to update the game plan. Here's the bigger lesson. Most ordinary people have dealt with gossip. We've all known that one person who swears they know everything about your life while barely knowing you at all. They'll tell everyone your relationship is in trouble, then they see you smiling together next week and suddenly, silence. That's why people are becoming more skeptical. They're not just reading headlines anymore, they're comparing them with what they can actually see. And that's a dangerous game for anyone trying to sell fantasy as fact, because rumors have an expiry date, but actions keep showing up every single day. That's why these stories keep needing new versions. The old ones never matched reality in the first place. Seriously, can somebody explain something to me? Why does every Harry and Meghan story comes with a scoreboard? Seriously, Harry visits a charity. How does this compare to William? Meghan launches a product, but what does Kate think? They go on holiday. Who planned the better vacation? At this point, if Harry sneezed, somebody would probably ask whether William sneezed louder. It's exhausting. Who started this obsession with turning two brothers into a never-ending boxing match? Life doesn't work like that. Regular people don't wake up every morning thinking, let me check if my cousin is doing better than me today. Most of us are just trying to survive Monday. Here's what I find funny. Harry and Meghan made a choice. They packed up, left royal duties behind, moved to another country, started over. That's a completely different life. William and Catherine stayed inside the system. Different job, different responsibilities, different rules. So why are people acting shocked that their lives don't look identical? That's like comparing a chef with a pilot. They're not even playing the same game. You can't judge them using the exact same checklist. And yet, every headline tries to force this competition. Who smiled more? Who got louder applause? Who wore it better? Who had the bigger crowd? Who's more popular this week? This week? So we're handing out championship belts every Friday now? Come on. You know what this reminds me of? Those relatives who show up at family gatherings asking, "So, who's the successful one now?" Meanwhile, everybody else is just trying to enjoy the barbecue. Not everything has to be a competition. Sometimes two people simply choose different roads, and that's okay. Harry's priorities look different because his life looks different. He's talked for years about protecting his wife, protecting his children, building something outside the palace. That's where his energy goes now. And honestly, a lot of ordinary people understand that. How many people leave one career to start another? How many move to a different city because they want a better future? How many walk away from family businesses to build something with their own name on it? Happens every day. Nobody calls it a rivalry. It's called making your own decisions. But somehow when Harry does it, suddenly there's dramatic music playing in the background. Everything becomes a race. Everything becomes who's winning. Here's the truth. The people most desperate for a competition usually aren't Harry and Meghan. They're the ones writing the headlines. Because rivalry sells. Conflict sells. Brother versus brother gets people clicking. Two couples living completely different lives doesn't sound nearly as exciting. So the media keeps throwing them into the same ring, even when they're fighting completely different battles. And that's why I don't buy into these weekly popularity tournaments. Life isn't high school. There isn't a trophy for getting the nicest headline on Wednesday afternoon. Real success looks different for different people. For some, it's serving inside an institution. For others, it's building a life outside of it. Neither path has to erase the other. But as long as newspapers can make money pretending everything is a family feud, don't expect them to stop keeping score anytime soon. You know what's changed? People don't just swallow headlines anymore. Those days are fading fast. Back in the day, if a newspaper printed something, that was the story. End of discussion. Now, people grab their phones and go, "Hang on, let me see the actual video." That's a whole different game. And I think that's what's driving some people crazy. Because Harry and Meghan aren't just characters in somebody else's newspaper anymore. They've got interviews, they've got documentaries, they've got podcasts, they've got public speeches, they've got social media. People can hear them speak with their own ears instead of waiting for somebody else to tell them what they really meant. That's a huge difference. Imagine your friend tells you, "I bumped into John yesterday. He was so rude." Then you watch the CCTV footage, and John was just standing there buying bread. Now you're looking at your friend sideways. Like, are we talking about the same John? That's what's happening with a lot of these royal stories. The headline says one thing, then people watch the actual clip, and they're left scratching their heads. Wait a minute, that wasn't what I was expecting. Here's what makes me laugh. Some commentators still act like it's 1995, like nobody's going to fact-check anything. Wrong generation. People pause videos, zoom in, replay clips, compare interviews, read comments, look up old footage. The internet has turned everybody into a part-time detective. You can't just throw a dramatic headline out there and expect people to salute anymore. People want receipts. And honestly, I don't blame them. Regular people deal with this all the time. How many times has someone twisted your words? Then another person actually hears the full conversation and says, "Hold up, that's not what happened." That's why context matters. And that's why more viewers are trusting their own eyes instead of somebody else's opinion. The point is that people want to judge them based on what they actually say, what they actually do, not what somebody claims they were secretly thinking. Those are two completely different things. And I think that's why these old narratives aren't landing the way they used to, because reality keeps interrupting the storyline. Every time someone says, "Harry looks trapped," people find another clip of him laughing. Every time someone claims Meghan is fading away, she's launching another project that gets the whole internet talking. Every time somebody declares, "This is the end," another chapter begins. It's almost becoming a running joke at this point. And here's the bigger lesson. Trust has become the real currency, not the loudest headline, not the biggest insult, not the most dramatic prediction. People are paying attention to who gets it right. Because once you keep crying wolf and the wolf never shows up, folks stop believing you. That's just life. At the end of the day, newspapers can still grab attention, but attention doesn't automatically earn belief anymore. People want proof, people want context, people want to see things for themselves. And if your version of the story keeps falling apart the second someone presses play, don't be surprised when your audience starts walking away. Because these days, credibility lasts a lot longer than clickbait ever will. All right, squaddies, that's a wrap for today's Royal Madness. One thing's for sure, you can spin a headline, but you can't spin reality forever. Sooner or later, people start asking questions, and that's when the real fun begins. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm your host, Miles.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe if you're new, and become a channel member to help support the channel. To all my amazing returning squatties, thank you for riding with me every single day. And to everyone who's just joined the family, welcome aboard. You're in the right place. God bless you all. Have an amazing weekend. Stay safe, keep smiling, and remember, the comment section is always open, so let me know what you think. I'll catch you all squatties in the next episode.